Okay, so this is going to be a quick update on Executive Order 13848, which is regarding foreign interference in the United States elections. Just for the sake of YouTube policy, I'm not going to claim there was any interference in the 2020 election. I'm just simply going to go through a file that was declassified this week from the Director of National Intelligence. Actually, two files. We're going to go through one by Joe Biden's Director of National Intelligence, and we're going to go through another file that was from Donald Trump's Director of National Intelligence, Ratcliffe. So this was kind of going around a few days ago that China reportedly did not try to help Joe Biden in the 2020 election, but rather Russia and Iran did try to help Donald Trump. And that's at least what the headline claims. So we'll take a look a little bit closer as to what the report actually says. So this is Joe Biden's Director of National Intelligence, Haines, who released this 15-page report. My version is going to have highlights, but if you were to click on this link, you would just get a plain version. It says this document is a declassified version of the classified report. Now keep in mind, the classified report is the assessment that the Director of National Intelligence puts together 45 days after the election. And if you haven't watched my first video yet, I'm going to link it below. It's only 13 minutes long, and it quickly goes through the dates of the executive order, and it shows how those extend potentially 120 days past Election Day into March 2021. It also discusses the Kraken and how it's related to Executive Order 13848, but how it's distinctly separate, that the Kraken may or may not be some Department of Defense computer software that may or may not have tracked foreign interference in our elections, essentially is what the video goes through. But anyways, in accordance with that executive order, they put together an assessment, and this report by Joe Biden's Director of National Intelligence is claiming to summarize that report that's still classified. And it's claiming that the analytic judgments outlined here are identical to the classified version. So we'll just breeze through a couple points. Here again, it's reminding us this intelligence community assessment is required by Executive Order 13848. And foreign actors' intentions and efforts to influence or interfere in the 2020 federal election, U.S. federal election. Key judgment one is that Joe Biden's DNI is claiming they have no indications that any foreign actor attempted to alter any technical aspect of the voting process in the 2020 elections, including voter registration, casting ballots, vote tabulation, or reporting results. So according to Joe Biden's DNI, no influence. China did not deploy interference efforts, and they considered but did not deploy influence efforts intended to change the outcome of the U.S. presidential election. So they could have, but chose not to. Moving on, we're going to come back to this. Page 5, this references John Ratcliffe's letter, and we'll go to that in a second, so we'll skip that for now. There's really not a whole lot in here, other than they're still pushing the 2016 Russia lies and anything alleging the Biden crime family is the Biden crime family is just a false narrative. But there's a couple very important things right at the end of this report. So we'll go down to page, I want to say it's page 14. Right at the end of this, after spending 14 pages saying nobody tried to help Biden, but people tried to help Trump, they end by saying this: we assess foreign cybercriminals probably did not work to interfere or influence the U.S. elections on behalf of or at the direction of a nation state. So they're saying China did not direct cybercriminals to affect the election. And how confident are they in this assertion? We have low confidence in this assessment. They have low confidence in their own assessment that foreign cybercriminals did not interfere with the election. And then to make things even better, they actually give us the definition of what they mean by low confidence. Literally at the bottom of the next page, low confidence. This is the description of how confident they are that there was no foreign interference. Several significant information gaps, high potential for deception, or numerous assumptions that must be made to draw analytic conclusions. So basically, this entire 15-page report is saying they're not even confident in their own conclusions that they draw, that China did not try to help Joe Biden. So I mentioned we'd go back to page 5. So in here, it actually is very nice of them that they say that we should check out this other report. So it says, please also see DNI Memorandum, Views on Intelligence Community Election Security Analysis, dated January 7th, 2021. Views on Intelligent Community Election Security Analysis, dated January 7th, 2021. So this is the file from John Ratcliffe. It's very short. This one's only 3 pages. But his conclusion is, I'm adding my voice in support of the stated minority view that the People's Republic of China sought to influence the 2020 U.S. federal elections. So what this is literally saying is Donald Trump's Director of National Intelligence, who compiles all of the intelligence community, there's like 15 branches or something like that of the intelligence community. He compiles all of their information on what may or may not have happened in the 2020 election. He puts together a report, and they classified that report so no one's allowed to see it. But his conclusion is that they did, in fact, seek to influence the 2020 federal elections. Let's see what else we have here. That's basically all I needed to show you about this, Joe Biden's DNI and Donald Trump's DNI. But there's a couple other things really quickly I want to touch on. I forgot to include this in my last video on Executive Order 13848, but it was actually pretty significant. We already covered that on day 45, Mike Pompeo and Steve Mnuchin announced that they're implementing the executive order on foreign interference in our elections. That's for day 45 from the election is December 18th, 2020. December 18th, 2020, that these guys do exactly what they're supposed to do, and they did. But what also happened on December 18th, 2020, I forgot to cover this. DNI Ratcliffe came out, and he mentioned that they met their deadline for putting together the elections intel briefing. So what's important is they actually tried to change the contents of this article since it first came out. Kevin McCarthy says DNI Ratcliffe delivered the elections intel briefing that was due today. The report due today was mandated by an executive order by Donald Trump. So very clearly this is talking about Executive Order 13848, where by day 45, this exact guy, the Director of National Intelligence, has to have this report done. Well, since then, this exact article has been updated to say, Kevin McCarthy says DNI Ratcliffe delivered the report on Swalwell. If you remember, in December, Eric Swalwell was caught literally in bed with a Chinese spy, Fang Fang. It's not a figure of speech. Literally, he was in a relationship with a Chinese spy. He's an American politician. But they even left in the little bit about the report was due today, was mandated by an executive order by President Trump. But they tried to change it to make it talk about his relationship with Fang Fang, the spy. But it's the exact same URL. It's by the same guy, published the same day, the same time. They tried to update this URL to link to, well, it's the same article, but they tried to update the article to be about Swalwell. That literally makes no sense at all. What else? I think that's it. I literally think that's all we needed to cover in this video. But this is just important to keep up on this Director of National Intelligence Executive Order 13848 stuff. If there's something else that I missed, let me know. And if I made any mistakes, I will put it in the description. Thank you.